Hello, and welcome to today's episode of In the Moment. I'm your host, Michael Clark, certified life coach, former therapist, and owner of Clark Coaching Services. I was a therapist for 8 years of my career and have been a life coach for almost 2 years now. And I just want to give back and share my knowledge and experience with you to try to help navigate this thing we call life. Thank you in advance for listening, and I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Michael here, life and transformation coach. There's a moment that a lot of women reach where everything looks fine on the outside. You're functioning, you're showing up, you're handling life, but internally, something feels off. Not broken, just off. And the thought starts creeping in, I don't think I can keep doing this the same way anymore. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If that's where you are, this episode is for you. And I'm not just going to give you high-level, general scenarios. I'm going to walk you through real-life examples of what this actually looks like for women I've worked with. And if you recognize yourself in any of these examples, that's okay. You are not alone, and I am here. Example 1, you quote-unquote know, but nothing's changing. You'd be surprised how many women I talk to who already get it. They'll say things like, I know I overthink everything. I know I stay too long in situations that don't feel right. I know I keep putting myself last. That's a big one. There was a woman I work with who could explain her patterns better than most professionals. She understood why she avoided hard conversations. She understood why she struggled with boundaries. But when it came time to actually do something differently, she'd pause, second guess, or wait for the right time. And that right time just never really came. Not because she didn't care, but because knowing something and moving through it are two very different experiences. So what we started focusing on wasn't more insight. It was slowing things down enough to ask, what's the one honest step you've been avoiding that you already know matters? Not 10 steps, not a full life overhaul, just one. If you're close to my age, you'll remember the movie City Slickers, where Billy Crystal's character was talking with the character Curly, and he tells Billy Crystal the secret of life and that it is one thing, just one. And if you stick to that one thing, everything else will be okay. With each example that I'm going to share with you today, I'll also share actionable tools that you can put into place to assist with moving forward. Here's the first one, Action Bridge. Think of one situation in your life right now that keeps coming up in your mind. Now ask yourself, what is the honest action I already know I need to take? Then bring it down one level. Not fix everything, not have the full conversation. Just what is the first sentence, message, or step? Example, sending a text to start a conversation. Saying, hey, can we talk about something that's been on my mind? Or blocking 10 minutes to sit with the decision instead of avoiding it. Then give yourself a time frame. When will I do this within the next 48 hours? Clarity without action keeps you stuck. Small action creates movement. Here is what we would work on during a coaching session. First, this is exactly where most people get stuck, right between knowing and doing. I help you slow that moment down, cut through the overthinking, and actually follow through on the step you already know matters. Not by pushing you, but by keeping you connected to what you said you wanted. Example number two, you keep starting over quietly. This one does not always look dramatic. It's subtle. It sounds like, okay, this week, I'm getting back on track. Or starting tomorrow, I'm going to be better about this. And for a few days, you are. Then life picks up. You get tired. Something throws you off. And instead of adjusting, you kind of disappear from your own plan. And then a few days later, you reset again. I had someone describe it to me once as, I don't fall apart. I just slowly fade out of things I said I'd do. That stuck with me because it's not failure. It's not lack of effort. It's usually pressure, too much, too fast. And a lot of the time, the pressure is what you put on yourself, expecting yourself to hold a version of consistency that doesn't actually fit your real life. So instead of asking this client to stay on track, we started asking different questions. What can I still follow through on today, even if I'm not at my best? Or what's one small way I can show up for this, even if I'm tired? And that changed everything because now she wasn't restarting. She was staying connected, even when things weren't perfect. One of the fundamental mantras that I go through with my clients is progress over perfection. Now, this next tool is called the Stay Connected System. Pick one area you keep restarting: gym, journaling, boundaries, etc. Now, define 3 levels. Let's use the gym example. Full version, best day, 30-minute workout. Fantastic. Minimum version, tired day, 5-minute stretch or a short walk. Connection version, your worst day. Stand up, move your body for 60 seconds. Your only rule to follow here is you don't skip it completely. Even on your worst day, do the connection version. This removes the reset cycle and builds identity through consistency. Here is what we would work on during a coaching session. First, understand that most people don't fail because they can't start. They struggle because they can't stay consistent when life gets real. I help you build something that actually fits your life and keeps you accountable to it, especially on the days you normally disappear from your own plan. Example 3. You're the one people rely on, but you're tired. A lot of women I work with are the strong ones. You're the one people call. You're the one who listens. You're the one who figures things out. And you're good at it. But there's a cost to that because somewhere along the way, you stopped having a place where you could just be you. No role, no responsibility, no need to have it together. I remember a client saying, I don't even know what I need. I just know I'm tired of being the one who always handles everything. And we didn't jump into fixing anything. We didn't rush into solutions. We just sat with that. Because for a lot of women, that's the first time they've actually said that out loud. And from there, we slowly started creating space, not big changes, just moments where she didn't have to be the strong one. The tool here is called Daily Reset Space. Create one small protected space in your day, even 10 minutes. During that time, no solving other people's problems, no phone, or at least minimal use, and no productivity. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? No one else. Not what others need, not what should be done. Write down whatever comes up. Then choose one small way to respond to yourself. Rest, say no to something, ask for help, delay a responsibility. This is how you start shifting out of constant output mode. Here's what we would work on during a coaching session. We'd look at creating a space where you get to be supported without expectations. Coaching becomes that space where you're not the one holding everything together for everyone else. And you finally get to be heard, supported, and guided without having to carry it alone. Example 4. Your life works, but it doesn't feel like you. This one can be confusing because nothing is obviously wrong. Things are fine, stable, functional, maybe even successful on paper. But internally, there is this quiet disconnect. Like you're moving through your life, but not really in it. I worked with someone who said, I built a life that makes sense. I just don't feel connected to it anymore. And that is not something you solve overnight. It's not about blowing everything up. It's about getting curious again. What parts of my life actually feel like me? What parts feel like something I stepped into but never chose? And sometimes the first step isn't a big decision. It's just noticing. Noticing what drains you, noticing what feels heavy, noticing what feels a little more like you. That awareness starts to pull you back toward yourself. Now, this tool, the energy and alignment tracker, is very powerful. For the next 3 days, do this. After key moments, meetings, conversations, tasks, quickly score it as either a plus, a minus, or an equal sign. Plus is energizing, minus is draining, and equal sign is neutral. At the end of the 3 days, look back and ask, where am I consistently drained? Where do I feel more like myself? Then choose one small shift. Spend slightly more time in a plus area. Set a boundary in a minus area. And adjust how you show up in one draining situation. This builds alignment without overwhelming change. Here's what we would work on during a coaching session. Changing direction. It's one thing to notice you feel disconnected. It's another to actually change direction. I help you sort through what's really yours, what you can control, what's not yours, or what you can't control, and provide support as you start making decisions that bring you back into alignment with yourself. And finally, example 5. You're not in crisis, you're just done. This is usually the shift, and it's not loud. It doesn't come with a big moment. It's much quieter than that. It sounds like, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to feel like this a year from now. I think I'm ready for something different. Not out of panic, out of clarity. I had someone say, I'm not falling apart. I just don't want to stay in this moment anymore. And that's powerful because now you're not reacting, you're choosing. And that's where coaching becomes really effective. Not because you're broken, but because you're ready to move forward in a way that actually feels different. This last tool is called the future reality check. Take 2 minutes and picture this clearly. If nothing changes, what does your life look like in 6 to 12 months? And be brutally honest here. Then ask, am I okay with that version of my life? If the answer is no, follow it with, what is one decision I've been avoiding that can change that direction? And then write it down. Clarity like this is often the beginning of real change. Here's what we would work on during a coaching session. You've reached a moment in your life where you reach out, not because everything is falling apart, but because you're ready to stop staying where they are. I help you take that clarity and actually turn it into forward movement with structure, support, guidance, and walk through it with you to help alleviate the fear, the hesitation, and the blockers that have been holding you back and holding you down. If you heard yourself in these examples, and especially if the tools felt simple, but hard to follow through on consistently, that's exactly where coaching comes in. Not to give you more information, but to help you apply it, stay consistent, provide accountability, and actually move forward. If you're ready for that kind of support, you can learn more or schedule a private clarity session using the link in the description. Remember, even though you are not alone, only you can take that first step.